vectors may sound like a term out of a sci-fi film, but you've definitely run into them more often than you think. In the cybersecurity world, an attack vector is a method that cybercriminals can use to achieve unauthorized access to a network and launch a cyber attack. One attack vector you've probably heard of is a phishing email, which is a common and effective attack vector used to trick users into revealing sensitive information, clicking on malicious links, or downloading malware. When it comes to the vast and ever-growing array of attack vectors available to cybercriminals, these pathways are typically broken down into two categories: passive attack vectors and active attack vectors. A passive attack vector is when a cybercriminal observes a system for vulnerabilities in order to collect information about their target. The goal is not to harm the system or disrupt business, but to gain access to sensitive information. Because of this, passive attacks often take longer to identify. One example of a passive attack vector would be eavesdropping, which is when a cybercriminal intercepts and listens in on unencrypted data transmissions. While eavesdropping itself is passive, an attacker might use this technique to gain access to login credentials or sensitive data, which they can then use for more aggressive attacks in the future. To protect against eavesdropping, consider encrypting data to ensure that even if it is intercepted, it cannot be easily understood or used by unauthorized individuals. An active attack vector, on the other hand, is when cybercriminals leverage vulnerabilities while actively disrupting data or the system. Active attacks are typically more aggressive and can cause immediate harm or damage. One example of an active attack vector would be session hijacking, which is when a cybercriminal gains unauthorized access to a user's session ID, allowing them to take over a legitimate user's computer session and act as that user. This gives cybercriminals access to protected accounts where they can gather information or perform actions that only the real user is authorized to do. To better guard sessions from hijacking, be sure to log out of web applications securely and avoid using public Wi-Fi networks. Or use a VPN to add an extra layer of security, as these make it more challenging to intercept traffic. Cybercriminals are continually analyzing individuals and businesses for vulnerable points of entry, which is why having an understanding of the different pathways available to them is crucial to safeguarding yourself and your organization.